Welcome. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Chris, I got two things. Let me just say one thing first. I don't want to get into it. I read some things about what's going on with Mike Francesa, and all I want to say is I hope you protect your name, and I hope he actually realizes that you two gentlemen were actually – you guys started a genre that is prevalent today throughout sports talk radio, and for him to do what he's doing, from what I could read, is just asinine and just. I listen. I don't know that I have not gotten an update on that. We'll have to wait and see. But I will treat that as not a big issue until I feel otherwise. And again, I think it's an issue that needs to be looked at. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. I don't know if it was an issue that. Was done with maliciousness in mind. I'll leave it at that. I hope not. Okay. So here's my main point. I'm in agreement with you. I know you talk about Game 7 being on Memorial Day that Monday, but right. According to your predictions, we're not going to have a Game 7.
No, we're not.
And it is my hope that both games are 4-0 swept, because this is really asinine what the NBA is doing, how they kowtow to these big corporate television companies and allow them to dictate how the series is played out. I think one of the elements that is taken away from when you have a series like this is that the element of someone getting hurt or someone getting tired from the previous series, where that's not in play anymore because you have so many days off between games, that never comes into play anymore.
Yeah, the wear and tear is different. The wear and tear is different. I agree with that. Go ahead. Continue.
I just hope that they both get swept, and then there's an uproar for the community at large, the people that actually watch basketball, to tell them they need to just really take a look at their next television contract and get this thing straightened out, because this is an absolute joke.
Well,
you're talking, 2 weeks?
Well, again, it's going to tell you the issue the NBA will have, and good call. I don't know if they do. Eddie can make a call and or have Bill make the call, because they pick up the phone for Bill, and call the league office. I believe that the NBA, now they used to have some flexible move updates. I don't think they have that right now. So I believe that the NBA Finals, no matter what, will begin on Thursday. Now, there used to be in the old days that there were a couple of sweeps, or one sweep and one 5-game series. They move it up a day, move it up 2-3 days. I do not know if that's still in play. So the reason why it may not be in play, because it's on ABC. That is national television. And ABC does not want the NBA playoff or finals on during sweeps month. May is a sweeps month. So as a result, you put it on the last day of May to start the NBA finals. If you put it up 4 or 5 days prior to that, you get involved in ratings periods and everything else. And ABC does not want, a lousy rating in prime time for Game 2, when they can get a better rating, putting on some other, a game show, or, let's everybody dance and let's play American Idol and let's go out there and play a quiz show. So as a result of that, that is why I believe there's no start update earlier. So that means if Golden State and Houston, if they, and let's say Cleveland wins early, there would be a long layover now before the final. Now, last year, Golden State swept. Who did they sweep in the conference final? I got to think about it. They beat Utah in the second round. Who did they sweep in the conference? They swept the Spurs. The series began on Mother's Day. Game 1, Leonard got hurt. They swept the Spurs. The Celtics beat Boston. I'm sorry. The Cavs beat the Celtics in 5 games. So I believe that the NBA final began, the NBA final began about 9-10 days later. Eddie, could you check the dates on that, please? That's important. Because last year the series were a sweep and 5 games. Did the NBA final last year begin on Thursday, May 30th?
Started June 1st.
Began June 1st. So there you go. And when did the conference finals end?
Checking.
Golden State ended their series with the Spurs when? And the Cavs ended their series with Boston on what date? Let's double check that. You do a little work on that, give you something to do. And we can, I believe that they had to wait about 8-9 days before they played a final, because
the ABC's got the games, and ABC is going to be in a situation where they're going to sit tight, and they're not going to put a game on in a spot where it's in the where it's going to upset ratings.
Okay, so the Cavs beat the Celtics on May 25th.
All right, so that's
wrap up that series.
I don't know what day that may have been last year. It's probably on a Friday or something. And how about the other series? So they waited basically a week for that because May 25th, June 1st was a Thursday, 31st was a Wednesday, 29th, that's a Thursday night.
May 22nd.
May 22nd. Think about that.
That was game 4.
So game 4 of Golden State and the Spurs was on Monday, finished up, the 22nd. I believe that's right. And game 5 of the Cavs was on Thursday. They did not play game 1 of the NBA Final for 10 days in the Golden State's case.
You are correct. May 22nd was a Monday.
May 22nd was a Monday. So they don't have a move-up date. So the same thing could happen this time. If those series end quickly, they're going to be waiting a long time to play a game. How about that? I did not realize that. I had forgot. I don't know if we made a big deal about that last year or not, but that tells you what you need to know about who wags the tail. We take a timeout. We continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.